Coming up on Cronkite News, the heavy rain from yesterday led to flooding and even some evacuations.
Plus, more than 100 teachers and parents rallied at the Capitol yesterday to protest a new controversial hotline.
And later, ASU pulled off a dominant performance against Nevada Wednesday night, punching their ticket to the NCAA round of 64.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Lydia Curry.
And I'm Jonah Krell. Thank you for joining us.
We had another winter storm hit the valley, which brought lots of heavy rain to the state.
Yavapai County was hit hard with rain, leading to evacuations late last night for residents near Oak Creek. Wet Beaver Creek was one of the several creeks that were flooded in the area. It was filled with more than 9 feet of water, and officials warned that these creeks might experience higher than normal flow because of all the snowmelt from the recent winter storms. Arizona has had one wet winter, but will that be enough to pull Arizona out of the drought? Alexia Stanbridge is at the Google touchscreen with a recently released drought report.
2 government agencies that track the weather released this map today, tracking what the drought will look like in a month and 3 months from now. As you can see, I have the 1-month U.S. drought outlook up. In Arizona, the white means that there's no drought present. The brown means that's where the drought's present. As you can tell in Arizona, it's looking pretty good overall, but there's still that drought persisting in this region of Arizona along that Colorado River. Surprisingly, 3 months from now, let's go to that real quick. You can see in Arizona, it's even looking better with most of that drought going away, just still following that Colorado River, but most of Arizona, no drought present at all. Gabriel Lajero with the National Weather Service in Phoenix says, make sure we're still not taking things for granted.
We may be back on this situation with drier than normal winter precipitation again soon, and so we may be back again in the severe to extreme drought conditions once again.
The experts I spoke to say we're in much better shape this spring than in previous springs, which could help impact water resources, agriculture, and recreation. In the newsroom, Alexia Stanbridge, Cronkite News.
State Superintendent of Education Tom Horn has launched a new hotline that allows parents to report any inappropriate lessons from teachers.
Ryan Blank joins us from the newsroom with more on the GOP-led efforts to keep critical race theory out of the classroom.
Horn is calling it the Empower Hotline to give parents more say in their child's education. But protesters say that this measure signals a mistrust of educators. And with the teacher shortage already at a crisis level, it could do even more damage.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, the hotline has got to go.
Teachers marched from the state capitol to school superintendent Tom Horn's office.
Respect! Now!
In protest of a new hotline.
Thank you for calling the Empower Hotline at the Arizona Department of Education.
That allows parents to report on teachers.
You can make a report about inappropriate lessons that detract from teaching academic standards, such as those that focus on race or ethnicity.
The strain that this hotline will put on me as a teacher is just the constant having to look over my back for one more thing that I'm not even really doing. It's a weird gotcha game where we have teachers that are doing what they've always done.
The protesting educators called for the hotline to be shut down, saying it signals a lack of respect and trust of teachers and could be the tipping point that will drive even more teachers out of the state.
They are just going to New Mexico, Nevada, California. They don't want to have to deal with this harassment from political leaders who are elected to really make Arizona a better place for our kids.
I send my own students to school trusting that teachers will teach them and inform them. They don't have an agenda. They just want to teach the material that's supposed to be taught and not be biased.
Horn was out of town the day of the rally, but the Empower Hotline was a key campaign promise as Horn vowed to focus on math and science and, quote, declare war on topics involving emotions and identity.
I think parents are upset that the students are not doing well on their tests. They're not learning enough. Too many distractions, social emotional learning, critical race theory, inappropriate sexual stuff.
Teachers fear they will have no due process and would like to have more dialogue with the Horn administration.
I've reached out. We have not heard back. We did have a conversation about, how he might be more supportive. And what I'll keep doing is inviting him to schools, meet with teachers, see that a lot of this stuff is manufactured, it's not real, and it's actually hurting our kids.
This idea of disrespect coming from someone who has not been at my school, who has not been in my classroom, it doesn't make sense.
Why is the government doing this? I don't understand.
Most teachers that I spoke with at the rally emphasized that they will continue to teach the material the same way they always have. In the newsroom, Ryan Blank, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Ryan. A campaign to help veterans that started in 2013 is coming back to life in Phoenix with the help of nurses.
Cronkite News reporter Maria Stobbs explores how one brochure can make a difference in the lives of veterans.
Have you ever served? A campaign launched by the American Academy of Nursing encourages nurses to ask this question with the help of a pocket card.
It's got all of the all the questions you want to put in every health record, and then all the diseases they're at risk for based on where they served.
Linda Schwartz has worked with veterans for decades. After noticing their unique needs, she created the Have You Ever Served initiative.
A lot of them did not know that they had been exposed to hazardous substances, and maybe that might be something that is causing their illnesses.
The campaign informs health professionals and veterans about health risks they may face related to their service.
Agent Orange, for instance, it can cause all kinds of cancers. It can cause spina bifida in the biologic children of Agent Orange exposures.
Ed Carr is one of the almost 500,000 veterans living in Arizona. He spent 30 years in the Army.
So I have a 20% disability that the Veterans Administration has given to me from exposure to Agent Orange.
He discovered his service in Vietnam led to his development of diabetes.
It was mild diabetes. It wasn't serious at that time. I was on just pills for many years and now also take insulin.
Carr says he didn't know he was at risk for the disease.
Some of this can be military related, and some of it can be very deadly. I think it's worth people at least asking the question when you got a new patient, have you had military experience?
The Pocket Guide provides questions to ask about exposures with phone numbers and websites to refer patients to.
Get as much information as you can and then refer them to the VA.
And Schwartz says it's another way to thank veterans for their service.
You can thank them for the service by asking that question and helping to inform yourself about who you've got before you.
In Phoenix, Maria Stobbs, Cronkite News.
Schmidt says the American Academy of Nursing has nurses from all backgrounds, including military veterans, educators, and practicing nurses. They hope to gain more members and continue educating people about military-related diseases.
Baseball fans know that baseball cards can bring big business and big money. Up next, experts tell us just how much these cards are worth, and some are going for thousands of dollars.
And we'll give you an update on the rain in California and how it may help the Colorado River crisis.
The way it is, Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
The
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back. While we've had lots of rain to talk about, our neighbors in California are really getting wet.
Daniel Ogas and Cameron Dean from our Los Angeles Bureau are braving the wet weather to bring us more on the Colorado River and pricey baseball cards this MLB season.
I'm Daniel Ogas, and this is your Cronkite LA Report. California has seen massive amounts of rain. In downtown Los Angeles alone, LA County reports the total is close to double the amount for the season. Almost 2 feet of water has fallen since the start of the year. In the past, the goal was to channel that rainwater to the ocean before it could cause flooding. Now officials want to store as much of it as possible. Just as another storm hit, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed an order aiming at recharging aquifers and restoring groundwater. It's the kind of move that could make the Golden State less dependent on water from the Colorado River and other imported sources. But officials also know this wet year could just be an anomaly. According to Laurel Firestone of the California State Water Resources Control Board, the unusual weather is a direct result of the changing climate. Even as storms pound the state, the official start of spring is right around the corner. That's when thoughts turn to baseball. With MLB spring training in full swing, fans are looking to expand their card collections. Which cards will be the most valuable? Cronkite News LA reporter Cameron Dean found Arizona may be ahead of the game.
My name is Jesus Vasquez. I'm a manager here at the bullpen in Los Angeles. I am one of the managers here, and I've been involved in cards for 22 years. Spring training, when you're looking at the cards, you're really going to try to be finding, the up-and-coming player. That's what baseball's all about. So I know a lot of people go and they want to see the stars playing spring training. You got your Shoheis, your Aaron Judges, your Aaron, all those guys. We all know they're good. It's the guys that they replace them later with. Your MLB top 100 prospects, who this is the first time you're going to see a lot of these guys live. Your first Bowmans. Everyone's best card is always your first Bowman. It's essentially your first professional card.
I'm always looking at rookie cards. Right now, Cartaya, there's a guy named Jose Ramos, I think. I bought one of his cards. There's hundreds of prospects out there, and you just got to key in on the ones you like, the teams you support, and the players you believe in.
Being in Arizona, you're kind of in a hub of spring training with cards specifically. Like that's a big spot because everyone's looking for those next big guys. A lot of those kids that they're going to get called up for the Diamondbacks already have their first Bowman. So hunting those down, finding them, you might find them as kind of a quiet value now, and then if they become a household name, that's when the cards will really take off. That's the most fun for me is, trying to dig deep and finding guys before they blow up. It's like finding a stock before it explodes. So.
Thanks for that, Cameron. That does it for our LA Report. From Los Angeles, I'm Daniel Ogas.
And it looks like some of that rainy weather just hit the valley. It was super rainy here in the valley yesterday.
It was too cloudy, Lydia. We need some sunshine. We need some sunny weather. So here, Madeline Jaskowiak is in the Weather Center to tell us what we can expect. Madeline?
Thanks, guys. We can expect some nice conditions tonight on this Thursday evening. We're starting off pretty clear at 6 p.m., but those clouds are going to roll in throughout the rest of the evening, and we're going to see a 7-degree temperature drop from 6 to 10 p.m. Our futurecast tells us that tonight we will have some rain still up north of Phoenix and some ice in Payson and in Sedona area, but by Friday morning, that actually is going to move eastward, and the state looks pretty clear for Friday morning. But over the weekend, most of the state is covered by clouds. Our low temperatures for Friday, we're looking at very cold temperatures up in the high country, 20 in Flagstaff, 38 in Sedona, 23 in the Grand Canyon. But southwestern Arizona is warming up. We've got 52 in Phoenix, 47 in Tucson, 50 down in Yuma. We are going to warm up on Friday, still seeing very nice temperatures in southwestern Arizona, sticking in the 70s, but we've got 78 in Yuma, so that'll be great for the folks who live there. But in northern Arizona, we are seeing 43 in Flagstaff, 44 in the Grand Canyon, so still pretty chilly on Friday. Our 8-day forecast is looking pretty nice this week. We're starting to warm up in the state. Clear skies on Friday, 73 degrees. But as we saw in the futurecast, those clouds are going to roll in on Saturday, and that's going to continue throughout the rest of the week until Wednesday. And we are going to see about an 11-degree temperature drop on Wednesday, but not to fear because that sunshine and the temperatures are going back up on Thursday and Friday so that we can have a nice weekend. I'm Madeline Jaskowiak in the Cronkite Weather Center.
I'm Ireland Horvat. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. ASU football completed their first spring practice. New head coach Kenny Dillingham is bringing his huge energy to the Sun Devil team.
Now streaming on the PBS app. The definitive collection of documentaries from award-winning filmmaker Ken Burns.
Hemingway, the man, is much more interesting than the myth.
It is a story that Americans have to reckon with.
He's got my job. I'm the town.
Discover over 40 groundbreaking films that bring our history to life. Stream the Ken Burns collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell. I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latino woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ireland Horvat. The Arizona Wildcats have just wrapped up their opening round game against Princeton in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Lindsey Zinti is at the Golden One Center in Sacramento with a shocking upset. As the number 2 seed, the Wildcats were heavily favored going into this matchup against 15th-seeded Princeton, but the Wildcats could not get it done, going scoreless in the last 4 minutes and 45 seconds of the game. The Wildcats were most recently named the Pac-12 champions, but could not get the job done, losing 59-55 to the Princeton Tigers. In Sacramento, Lindsey Zinti, Cronkite Sports. What a night it was for ASU men's basketball against Nevada. The team competed in the first 4 and left with a 98-73 win, advancing them to the first round of the tournament. ASU came out strong in the first half, leading by as much as 29 points. They hit 8 three-pointers and dominated the entire game. Head coach Bobby Hurley has won 2 NCAA championships as a player, but is focused on winning one as a coach.
It was a complete performance for us, and you want to be playing this way at this time of year. That's what it's all about. I truly believe that our schedule and the games we've been in, especially late in the season, prepares you for these type of games.
ASU is now in Denver, the same regional as GCU. The Lopes already had a traveling violation on their journey to the Mile High City. Must have been a shock when the team landed. They found out none of their equipment had made the trip. Thanks to a Nike store and brotherly love, GCU's practice continued. Scott Drew, head coach for Baylor men's basketball, and Bryce Drew's brother, stepped in and helped the Lopes as they got a practice in at Ball Arena. Baylor loaned GCU the equipment they needed. The bags eventually arrived in Denver Wednesday night. ASU and GCU both fighting for first-round wins in Denver and a chance to play each other in the second round. Number 14 GCU will take on number 3 seed Gonzaga in Denver. The 11th seeded Sun Devils will play number 6 TCU. Should both Arizona schools come out with a first-round win, ASU and GCU will face off in the second round of the tournament. NASCAR debuted its new rules package for the Cup Series this past Sunday at Phoenix Raceway. The package is for short tracks and road courses with the goal of making the races at these tracks more exciting for drivers and fans. The idea behind the modifications to the cars is to decrease the downforce created by the vehicles. They did it by removing most of the diffuser strakes from underneath the car that helped to grip the track better. Now the cars are more difficult to control. This also gives drivers more mobility, in theory allowing them to pass other cars easier. Drivers were excited about the new rule change, but after the race, many of them felt like the changes did not affect their driving very much.
Like the racing side of it, I didn't think like trailing the guy in front of you was any better. So I think there's still work to do on that.
Maybe they're more fun and tougher to drive by yourself, but traffic, they're still really hard to pass.
One race under their belts with the new rules package, the drivers seem unimpressed. But this early in the season, it's too early to give a final verdict. NASCAR goes to Atlanta Motor Speedway this weekend. 1 down, 14 more to go as ASU has kicked off its spring football practices. Now under new head coach Kenny Dillingham, the Kajikawa practice fields have a new environment. Cronkite sports reporter Jonah Krell was there for the first day on Tuesday, with the Sun Devils not wasting any time to get going.
New coaches, new drills, new players. Everything had a sense of freshness at ASU's first spring football practice, and it wasn't by coincidence.
We want to compete, we want to have an intensity about ourselves, and our goal today was just own the ball.
When players wanted to take it easy during Kenny Dillingham's first spring football practice, he wouldn't let them, emphasizing tempo, energy, and competitive spirit to set the tone.
I think anytime you put them in this environment that you're going full speed for 35 minutes at a time and put that strain on them, you know it's new, so I think there's a lot of room for growth there. But I think they were trying to do what we asked them to do. We pushed them to a point that they needed to be pushed today.
Guano set some really good things last year, and Dillingham has ran with it, and I appreciate them both. And the tempo is going to kill some people when they come down here to play us, because we have 8 home games, I think. So it's going to be hot. So we're gonna run some teams to the ground.
Dillingham also raised the stakes with one-on-one, mano-a-mano type situations to bring out his team's best competitiveness.
I liked it though. It was like put you on the spot. You know, going into games. You know, there's a lot of people you're in the spotlight, so you gotta have to rise to that challenge and stuff. So I like getting called out like that. You don't know if you up. So once my name got called, I was like, oh, okay, man, it's time to compete at that point.
After the historic losing season last year, Dillingham has said there are no expectations for spring ball, with his only request be that the Sun Devils get better every day. And it was just the first day, but it was a start. In Tempe, Jonah Krell, Cronkite Sports.
That's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. Back to Lydia and Jonah.
Thanks, Ireland. Coming up next, we're headed to the high country,
where snowboarding season is still in full swing.
And one company is hoping to grow the community of the sport it loves.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station.
Sign in and start streaming today.
Let's take it to the slopes at Sunset Terrain Park in Flagstaff, where a local company, Collective Supply Co., helped host a snowboarding competition.
Collective Supply Co. has a goal to help grow the snowboarding community in Flagstaff. And by the looks of it, it's working.
Participation in snowboarding competitions have grown significantly in the past few years. In the 2018-2019 season, each competition had about 30 contestants. In this season, each competition had 65 contestants. That's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thanks for joining us. For Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.